And here we are. Meek, talk to me. What's going on?
All right, we got Tatanka in the top. On the mid left, we got Kerpa. These decks are spicy. This is actually kind of what I would expect out of Kerpa. In the past, he's been known for a lot of Fox play, a lot of board play, and a lot of Tier 1 shenanigans. Looks like this time he's going to open up with board. Tatanka playing a solid deck, his tried and true Owl, Squirrel, Toad. He's actually substituting the Snakes for Falcons this time. He's probably going for a stronger late game Owl deck. Interesting. I kind of think Kerpa's got the advantage here with the board, but we shall see. We got any information on these players?
We do. Loading up some information right now on our good friend Tatanka, who just came to this game recently but has taken it by storm. I was talking with Epicosity earlier. If folks were here for the interview, I mentioned some statistics about Tatanka being he was just recently #1 on ladder. He has sub 400 games. And he is currently 14 and 14 with Erelu. That's right, Erelu. He's 18 years old. He's from the country of Sweden. Since just November of 2020, he's climbed to 14th. That's of all time Tooth and Tail players, 14. And he plays with keyboard.
Yeah, his name Tatanka is actually derives from a species of bison that is shown a lot in the game Red Dead Redemption. There's actually rumor has it Tatanka's not a real person. He's actually just a Red Dead Redemption AI learning to play TNT. And that's why he's so consistent.
That would make a lot of sense. I mean, for someone to have climbed this far, this fast, they really can't be human. So absolutely not surprised. Let's see what this man can do in this game, or should I say this machine, as he throws down some early lizards and goes for an early squirrels and goes for an expansion.
Yeah, choosing to go for the closer of the two mills when it comes to Kerpa's base. This is something you can absolutely do with the kind of deck Kerpa's running. If he had snakes, it would be even more viable. Because he has falcons, if Kerpa had skunk snake, which he doesn't, it would be a little harder to hold that just because snakes are really good before the falcon count gets too high. But he's going to take the expand. Kerpa's going to take the back expand, probably signaling I don't really want too much early game flame. I want to get some eco, get my boar out. And that mine kind of signifying I don't really want to engage. I want to kind of keep you away for a little bit.
Fortunately, the mine. Wait, he's not going to scout the mine. Yeah.
Now, even on the low ground, he would be able to scout the sparks.
Interesting. Well, if he scouted it, he would have killed it by now. And that is a pretty useful mine. Oh, there it goes. I guess it takes an innocent squirrel's life as the squirrel steps on top of the landmine. Interesting defensive position that Tatanka is setting up here.
Now, I think Kerpa is playing this perfectly. Tatanka, or did I say? Yeah, my bad. I think Kerpa's playing this really great. Tatanka's opening up with a balloon, which is money and defense. Kerpa's responding by taking all the money that Tatanka gets in a balloon and putting it in more eco.
Yeah, it's the perfect response. This is exactly what I do. And one of the things
for the ball? That's 180. That's a lot of food. No. Where did his food just go? Oh, more farms.
One of the things that these players do, it's sort of a subtle thing, but we're witnessing it here coming into the mid game, is they're constantly scouting. They're always scouting. They're constantly scouting. Let's see if he can do damage. He does have 3 toads. Skunk on skunk. The toads are going to do some damage. Is he going to pull back? Yeah, exactly. I think that was value. Let's check the graphs.
It looks relatively even. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good in the hood. It's equal on economy. That boar is down though.
Yeah, and if that boar comes up, we'll see if it could be a game changer here.
Tatanka needs to go heavy into the falcons because he doesn't have snake, of course. But I think he's gonna go for eco, and this is, I mean, there are 4 falcons. It's but Kerpa's got 4 falcons too. So does he not know? I mean, will he even? There's no way he scouts it on this scout cycle. Yeah, no, he didn't. He didn't see it. So his response right now makes or breaks the game. If he goes full up on that mill, it should be over. And he's going full up on the mill. I would think he would suspect something after that scout, not seeing a lot of eco. But maybe he's thinking it's owl or something he can deal with.
Yeah, at least he has another balloon. Maybe he's going to try to go in and take the game before the boar comes out.
Oh, but there's no way. You can't just go up on 8 farm and then, or 5 farm and then expect to win a battle. Nah. Kerpa's got pigeons. He's going to hold just fine. This boar's popping. There's not enough falcons to Tonka's name.
Yeah, he lost
As
a
long as
lot.
Kerpa avoids the balloon.
He lost a lot of squirrels in that engage. The toads really did work, but the thing is, Kerpa's playing this like Melvin Fro does. He's going up on pigeons and he's going up on falcons to support this boar. And this army, at least when Melvin Fro does it, is extremely powerful. We'll see if he
He's
can take
going
the
in
game.
on the wrong angle, but that balloon got shot down real quick.
And this is the strength of the boar. It could tank
Great boar
so
micro.
much. It tanked all of the toad hits. And the
All the
pigeons are
falcons are
keeping
down.
everything
That's it.
alive. Is Kerpa going to take this game? I don't think there's nothing really to contest the boar.
Without snakes, those pigeons are going to keep it alive. And yeah.
Oh my god, Kerpa just microing the boar perfectly, might I add.
this is really good. Yeah, this is like really good boar micro.
Yeah, and this is exactly how Melvin Fro does it. He just focuses his micro on the boar, and the falcons and the skunk and the pigeons and the squirrels just clean everything up. That's going to be
No,
it.
Kerpa's not ex-premier for nothing. He's a top-notch opponent. And this is a bit of a wake-up call for Kerpa, or for Tatanka, saying you're not playing the average Joe. You're playing Kerpa, my man, the Brazilian.
And that's going to be it for game number 1. Kerpa's going to take an early lead. Meek, who do you think is favored going into this match? And what's your
I have to
honest
give it-
opinion?
Tatanka is very present in the community right now. You know, he's getting his games in every day. He's taking games off everyone, even me. And so he's at the forefront of my mind. But Kerpa, even though he doesn't play as much, has been formidable for a long time. So I can't confidently put either of these person in the backseat. I have to say it's too close to call on my part.
Well, then let me ask you this. Who'd you put on your prediction for him?
I put Tatanka. I put
Kerpa-
Tatanka, but I tell you what, Tatanka beat me 6 games in a row that morning, and that's solidified my opinion.
So here we have Kerpa, ladies and gentlemen, 34, coming out of Brazil. He's 114 on Camel. He also plays with keyboard. Interesting. I think everyone that we've seen today plays with keyboard, and he's been in the community. He's been active. You know him. He's a streamer. He's been in all the cups, playing the game since 2017.
Everyone's favorite Kerpa. Now, it says keyboard on there, but rumor has it that he actually uses his Step Mania dance pad to control his TNT functions, and I think that's where he gets the real skill. Give something that no one else can get the edge on him. If anyone watches Kerpa stream, he does a lot of Step Mania, and yeah, that's what the rumor has it.
And he's really good at it too. Like, I just see him at home.
He's so good at Step Mania. It's like you'll watch his stream, you'll see him warm up, and then he'll go ta 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 ta.
Yeah, I know exactly. I just
Not
see
something I could do.
him. What's it called? Just microing the boar just with on a DDR pad. Just. Oh man, these are really interesting tidbits you're coming up with here, Meek.
Tatanka went for an expansion, but sold it into the tier 2, going for a more forward expand. Once again, this is something he can do, especially now that he has snakes this round. It's going to be much easier to hold. And I think he's going to go for some early to mid game aggression with the Squirrel Toad. Kerpa going for the moles. That's risky. Moles have been nerfed pretty heavily. And even Badger's going to be hard to pull off this game because the snakes are now in. But we'll see. If you don't get enough up, then the pigeons will be enough, and it'll keep the tier 3 alive like we saw last game.
Yeah, I just think that this mill is so interesting.
By who? Tatanka?
By Tatanka, it's not exactly what you'd expect, but you know, on paper, or while it's far away from your main base, which is usually problematic, it's pretty easily defended. Like, it's surrounded by walls and water. So I guess he's just grabbing this mill. He's going to try to defend it early and then build some of his warrens around it. And then he has this easy mill as his third going into the late game. So really just very interesting decision making coming out of Tatanka. With the early skunk, the extremely early skunk, having the game sense to know that Kerpa wouldn't be aggressive and that he can get that skunk out early. And taking the forward mill. It looks like, is Kerpa gearing up for an attack? He is. And how do you feel about this attack, even with Mole and Pigeon support going up against 2 skunks in this choke point?
Now this is a pretty good application of Moles. We're going to see going in for a timing attack. Tatanka went up really heavy on the farms. He's going to get punished. Pigeon's doing work for those cams. Those Moles getting onto the mill. Oh, and this mill's going to go down. There's no way it survives. Oh, but the commander goes down. But it's still enough. Those Moles put in the work. Oh, the mill's on so much low HP. It's going to survive. It's huge for Tatanka.
And is that going to be game for Tatanka? I don't know. We're going to have to see. I mean, it was such a risky attack from Kerpa to go in with such a small choke point against all this tech, the toads and the skunks.
And it almost
got
off.
that mill. But you know how moles are. You kind of have to use them and use them effectively because you're just going to lose value in the long run. And now I think it's too late. I don't think this attack's going to do much.
No, this is giga over. That attack needed to succeed.
Absolutely.
And Tatanka's going to tie it right back up. And that's why we don't really recommend moles to anybody right now. The margin of error when you use those is so small. Even I wouldn't risk running it.
He was
well,
so
I would,
close.
but rarely.
Okay, so now Tatanka's going with his main build.
Yeah, this is what yeah, absolutely. You're right. The mental advantage of winning that would have been devastating. I got to agree, Horace. All right, let's take a look this time. On the right side, we got Kerpa. To the left, we got Tatanka. Tatanka, like we just said, he was taking his favorite, his kind of patented board deck. What he likes to do here is he likes to go up on economy, kind of lay low, but then his board push is one and done, and you're out. And I've played against him where I can kite him with a fox for days, and he will still push through me and take me out. So his board push is going to be really strong. I expect to look out for that. Kerpa, you know, he's kind of got his hand tied. He went for an owl deck. He doesn't have any snakes. Yeah, he's got the falcons, but it's going to be hard if his mice get cleared up. So right now I give the slight advantage already to Tatanka deck-wise. But both of them have toads. So still anyone's game.
This has to be like the biggest map possible, right? I mean, this map is huge.
I mean, map-wise, it's great for Kerpa. Like if you split the map down center, you've got 5 mills for Kerpa and 1 mill or 3 mills for Tatanka. But those 2 on the right side, on the bottom right, like how is he supposed to defend those? I don't think you can. So
yeah, this is
going
to
have to be a 2-base push off Tatanka. I'm quite confident.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. This map gen is just not favoring him going into the late game, but with a boar against an owl, you kind of want a 2-base all in anyway. So we'll see. Interesting, both the players going up on a lot of army, which I think is interesting considering the size of the map. With a map like this, you kind of expect for both players to be ecoing. So Kerpa scouts. He scouts the greed. He scouts the greed, in that he's putting down 2 tier 2 warrens and defending with just 2 toads.
Is all Tatanka has toads? Is he a madman? I was just about to say that this greed isn't punishable. Like if that's 3 squirrels.
Yeah.
If those are squirrels, forget it. Yeah, even now he can't punish it, can he?
The map is just too big.
Yeah. No, I think he'll get a pig. I think he'll get 1 pig.
That is a chameleon, and that's going to change things.
I don't think it's going to be worth it, though, because Tatanka's going to kite those cams, and the snake's going to pop. He took too long to go in. Now he needs to go home.
Yeah.
Now this is dangerous. Now this is bad for Kerpa because Tatanka just needs to get something to reveal the cams, tag him, kite, and rush in with Skunk Snake against what? Only Squirrel?
Kerpa doesn't know. He doesn't know that Tatanka's building snakes. And the map is so big. Okay, 1 base owl. Meek, I mean, you know one base owl well. Tell me, does it work here?
I don't see it. I don't think it'll work. But we'll have to see. Really, only Tatanka needs to find it, right? If
Oh,
Tatanka's too
the the chameleons he was going in for some harass.
okay.
They just dropped, and they dropped for what, 3 toads and nothing. What a
Okay,
good trade for Tatanka. So
forget one
unfortunate.
base out. Tatanka 100% is pushing here. There's no way he no. Even if he ecos, he has to push. Surely. You're gonna
I mean,
eco?
I mean,
You're
when
gonna...
you're a far ahead like this, why take a risk, right? He needs to
That's
scout. He
true.
also hasn't really scouted yet, so let's see what he
But this is
finds.
kind of the same problem of game one. Tatanka didn't scout, and he went, and he's not gonna scout again. He's not gonna. Yeah, he doesn't see the owl. And last game he didn't see the tier 3. He saw that something was funky, but he still went up on the eco. He got punished for it. This time going up on snakes. So maybe he's suspecting badger. I don't know. Clearly he's not thinking owls, because if not, he would go into more skunks, and that's really what you want to see for a successful hold. Still, just cams as your tier 2. That's not ideal.
He's going for it, and he finds the owl.
Oh, it's too little, too late. I mean, this is an all-in push now or never. Here comes Kerpa. In the chat, what do you think? Before they engage, what do you think? What do you think, chat? Team Kerpa, Team Tatanka, who's this going?
I mean, I think Kerpa has a chance here. An owl can be really strong in these kinds of situations, but Tatanka does have at least 3 toads that should clear up the mice. Interesting, Kerpa's not going to... Defying expectations, Kerpa is not going in. He's saying that choke point, with that Warren tanking, with those skunks, is just unbreakable. He's going to accept that he's far behind on eco, and is he going to build a second owl?
Kerpa, don't do
What
it.
is he thinking? Is he AFK? No, he goes for Falcon.
So this is a good lesson for everyone when you're trying to learn tempo. He sacrificed his economy to get that owl out before Tatanka had a boar, before he had the proper tech to deal with it. And as a result, he's way down in economy. He can't just go, oh, now I'll sit back and now I'll eco hard. No, you're too far behind. You are never catching up in eco again. And now Tatanka can get his tier 3. And now he has the better comp and he has the better eco. So this is a misuse of tempo from Kerpa. I think the only way he wins this is with some, I want to say some cam cheese, but even then Tatanka won't die because he's got that expansion, the hidden mill on the bottom right.
Yeah, unfortunately, the cam cheese isn't going to work out as he wanted because Tatanka scattered it out. Tatanka, he's such a good defensive player. This is when Tatanka is in his element. When he's building his perfect composition, when he's macroing, when he's up on eco. And now that the boar is out, he's going to go for it.
What did we say at the very beginning of this? It was going to be a 1-4 push all in.
Yeah, 2 base all in, exactly.
Sit back on the 2 base, go for the boar push. That is exactly what we saw. Those toads cleaning up the mice.
He's going for the sacrifice, and he's going to see what he can do. Oh my god, and it clears up everything.
With only an owl and a falcon, there's no way that's going to hold.
Yep, that's going to be it.
Kerpa throws in the towel.
One of the hardest things about playing boar is knowing when you're going to just go in and sacrifice the boar and have the explosion go off, and when you're going to hold it back and micro it and try to have it live. Tatanka made that decision decisively. He knew that the ground forces were too much from Kerpa. It did so much damage, and Tatanka takes it, going up 2-1 against Kerpa in the intermediate finals.
If you showed me this map, right? You told me that Kerpa's playing Tatanka starts here, Kerpa starts here. You don't even tell me their decks. I would predict that that's exactly how a game's going to go, where Tatanka sits on 2 base, he goes for the boar, goes for a strong push and wins it all behind a really strong meta deck.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of the frustration that can come with playing someone that's so technically sound. You know exactly what he's going to do, but it's so hard to stop. And even if I knew ahead of time that he was going to do it, and I predicted, I think fairly accurately, that was how it was going to play out. Even I don't have a definitive answer on how you beat that, right? If you poke, you have to be a damn good poker, because that push is going to be so devastating.
And it's so hard to poke against such a defensive player. Kerpa's thinking he needs to take a risk. He goes for a 4-farm double. Well, actually, no, he tones it down, and he ends up going for that 5th farm, deciding that he's not going to go in. But now he has lizards, and Tatanka's building toads, so it's kind of a dangerous situation for Kerpa. Tatanka's also up in eco at this point, so we'll see what he can get done. You don't want to be the lizard player right now. You got 6 lizards and your opponent has toads. I mean, you got to hope for a miracle. Kerpa's going to end up going all the way around. You know, he's so good with these lizards hit squads. He could pick off that pig. Tatanka thinks he's coming from the other direction. Is he going to get the pick? He's going to go for it. He's going to commit. And he's going to lose, I believe it was 2 lizards for 1 toad.
You know, I've had a lot of people tell me, Meek, I don't think just 3 toads is good, or I think going for a 1 Warren squirrel, 1 Warren toad is bad. Well, here's a game to kind of pit your own opinions into reality, because if you're on the defense against lizards, this is a great application of early toads. But if he had pushed out with that, I would think he'd probably get rolled by 6 toads. But he didn't, see? And he held back, he defended, now he's in the lead. So for anyone who's like, Meek, 3 toads, it's not enough to do any damage. Man, 3 toads is more than enough if you know how to use it right.
Kerpa, sensing the toads, goes for a hard tech switch. And Skunk Squirrel can be really effective versus Toad Squirrel, especially if you micro it properly. So Kerpa's gonna,
pop for sure.
He's gonna turn this early disadvantage into a tech advantage for him. We'll see if he can leverage it. Does Kerpa always play this heavy on 1 base?
Yeah, Kerpa he does like to go more micro heavy and less macro oriented, but that can be more of a detriment than an aid sometimes. But the map is really close. I did talk about earlier, Kerpa's a boar man, he's a fox man, and he's a tier 1 guy. And as we've seen, a lot of times he's taken trip tier 1, but we've seen the boar game, now we're going to see a fox game, and I think the fox is good here. I honestly do. Oh, early fox, I love it. I love it.
This is very Meek-esque. Meek, you've been beating me a lot lately with an early fox. I think it could pay off. I mean, Tatanka doesn't really have an answer for a fox in his decks, right? Like what does he build to counter a fox? He tries to pray for a good snake tag? That's a risk.
I mean, yeah, I'm looking at the armor graph. I'm like, where is Tatanka's money? It's in snakes, okay, but Tatanka, he didn't take cams, right? So there is no, like, cheese that, like, it's gonna be a straight up, like, this is my dream scenario for a fox, is I'm not playing cams, I'm not playing owls. It's open enough that I can run my fox wherever I want. I think if this fox gets up, Tatanka's just has, it's his to lose if he can micro properly.
What's interesting is, oh, is he sending his chameleons? Okay. No, he's sending his snakes. It looks like he was rallying. Yeah, he's rallying his snakes. So Tatanka's response to scouting a fox warren was to eco, which I thought was an interesting decision. And it looks like is he gonna mass tier 1? What do you do as Tatanka right now? You just don't have the tools to deal with a fox.
I mean, so rarely is fox like is it good in a matchup, right? People love owls so much, people like defenses so much these days that you don't see it. So I have no pity for how good this fox is right now against Tatanka's composition. Then again, Tatanka's doing the right thing. He's going to stay on the high ground, and he's probably going to keep his units at the very border, which means Kerpa has to get on the high ground to get a shot off, and that's very dangerous. I have lost many of foxes to some missed micro here, but like I said, it's going to be straight up. I would have liked to see a lot of poking before bringing his units forward like this, because he can't win a straight up engage. At least he shouldn't. Then again, Tatanka went up in a lot of farms, so he very well just might be able to take the straight up engage. The toads are gone, so he's not going to have that initial firepower.
There's 1 tag on the fox. There's 2 tags. There's 3 tags. That's a dead fox.
But there's pigeons. No, but there are pigeons, so he's going to be fine.
Oh, man. Thank God for those pigeons coming in the nick of time. Tatanka, at first I thought...
Tatanka! His commander's gone down!
And this fox is going to have free reign to just pick off whatever it wants. This fox has gotten a lot of value so far. Let's see how far he can go with it.
Now this is what's so important. If you take a look at the army graphs, they're pretty even. In fact, Kerpa even took more losses than Tatanka. But Tatanka will never get the ball rolling again. Kerpa's gonna snipe his units indefinitely, and Tatanka's just gonna have to push, 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 and he can't afford that. And he's not producing like more food than he's losing right now. That snake tag isn't enough. The pigeons are so strong here.
What a
Like,
composition from coming out of Kerpa.
Once you tip someone off balance as the Fox player, it's a snowball. Because they can never regroup. He's never going to get back onto that high ground and be able to jostle position now.
Yeah, I don't know how Tatanka answers the Fox. It's just going to be pecking away at him for the rest of the game. Kerpa knows it.
I love it.
I mean, this is what you got to do, right? You got to sort of rally your troops into a ball and just push and hope. But other than that, you don't have much. Tatanka's up in almost every other aspect. I mean, he's up in economy. He has more warrants, but
it doesn't matter.
No answer.
See, he's trying to utilize the high ground, but it shouldn't be enough. I don't think.
Oh, there's a tag, but like you said, the pigeons are here.
And now he has to go forward, right? Now he has to press. He can't run. He can't retreat back into the high ground.
Building a farm is interesting.
That farm's gonna die.
Yeah.
The farm's gonna die.
He's gonna go for the mill.
He can't. It's only one snake. There's no way.
We have one tag on the Fox. The snake goes down, and once the snake goes down for Tatanka, there's very little hope of having that Fox killed. I think it's an interesting decision to go for the mill. I mean, if he got it, it would have kicked Kerpa into starving.
What a game. I mean, just one after another. This is...
Everyone loves Fox, and everyone loves to see a well-played Fox game, and Kerpa's really putting on a show for us today.
Tatanka doing everything he can, but he just really doesn't have the right answer.
No.
And maybe ecoing was his best bet, given the currents, given what he was given, but...
And he almost made it work. I mean, he almost toppled down that mill, and he might even be able to topple it down. And this is often what you see as an answer against a Fox. It's just mass tier 1. And you throw in a snake or two and just pray for a tag. And now that's going to push Kerpa into starving. Can Tatanka take this game? If Tatanka grabs the spill, it's over. He's going for the Fox. The Fox has nowhere to retreat. Tatanka is going to turn this around. He's going to take this game off of mass tier 1. There goes the Fox, and there goes Kerpa's hopes. No more economy, no more anything. Tatanka is going to turn this around with some beautiful counter Fox play. Despite not having what we would consider the answers to the Fox, he was able to just play around it.
Ladies and gentlemen, all my hopes just died with that Fox. What a game. What a push. I I kind of spoke about it earlier, where sometimes when I'm running Fox against Tatanka, I'll poke, but it just doesn't matter. His push is too powerful, and given his situation, I think it was bad, right? I think he was in a tough spot. The best thing he could do was eco and push indefinitely, and eventually he drove Kerpa into a corner and sealed the deal. So, I mean, hats off to him.
This is what makes Tatanka such an incredible player. This is why he's #1 on ladder. You know, he doesn't have any of the traditional tools to deal with a Fox. He ecos hard. You know, all his decisions, we were thinking, you know, is ecoing really hard in the face of this Fox, and he's just going back and forth. This Fox is getting so much value. At the end of the day, it didn't matter. He mass tiered 1. He got 1 or 2 stakes, and he was able to get it done against all odds. Tatanka, I mean, I'm personally going to be rewatching that game, and if anyone is looking for a game to study about how to deal with a Fox, watch this game, because man, that was really something by Tatanka.
Yeah, he kept his nerves together. I'm blown away. I thought simply the Fox spawning sealed the deal. I thought when Kerpa took the first engage and it was just a conga line of Tatanka's units across the map, I thought that was his death knell, but proved me wrong.
Looks like Kerpa was thinking ninja. Kerpa doesn't really have a comfortable expansion. Well, he has this one down here, I suppose. But I like the map for Tatanka. He's got an easy 3 base and then a very manageable 4th base, whereas Kerpa just has one sort of questionable second. You know, Kerpa is known to be aggressive, so let's see what he decides. Another early skunk out of Kerpa. This is becoming a signature move. And Tatanka scouts it right away. Oh man, Tatanka's so good. Just even that scouting. You go in, you dip out, you fake like you're going to go back, and then you dip back in. You know, he sees early tier 2 from Kerpa. He does it a few games in a row, so he wants to scout for it, and then he's going to counter with an early skunk of his own. Man, Tatanka's really putting on a show today. Very well played in the beginning of this game.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And keep in mind, this is match point. Tatanka's on 3 points. If he wins this game, he seals the deal. He's your intermediate champion.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, what a good series. These players are both so good at tooth and tail. It looks like Kerpa thinking aggression. You know, this is what he likes to do. He'll and Tiki Grade does something very similar. He'll accept that he's behind on economy in the beginning of the game, and he'll go for more army units, and he'll try to make a push work. Let's see. He's just gonna match the eco, it looks like.
But Tiki will always push on the first skunk because that's when your opponent has eco and their tier 2 hasn't popped because they went eco before tier 2. Kerpa didn't go for that one skunk push, and now both of them have tier 2, and now you're just in a deficit.
You're in a stalemate essentially. That's right.
Yeah. So if you're gonna do the build order Kerpa does, you have to push on the first skunk because that is the only time you will have tier 2, then your opponent does not.
It looks like, yeah, Kerpa wants to be aggressive, but he just can't. He's behind on economy now. This is not where he wants to be coming into this potentially final game of the series. And, you know, just looking at the decks now, it's pretty interesting. They're both very similar decks. Kerpa has the mines, but he hasn't actually put one down yet.
I mean, the snakes are being utilized. The mines are not. I give the advantage to Tatanka at the moment.
It looks like Kerpa's gearing up to be aggressive right now. Kerpa's thought process, I think, is that I have pigeons and I'm going to be able to kite the toads. So at the end of the day, I should win the exchange. But now that a snake is in the picture, I don't know. Oh, look at the line. Oh, is he going to be able to kite these toads? A couple toads go off. Okay,
Is
so
that skunk gonna live? Wow.
The mines are up. Let's see the pops. 1, 2. There's a dead snaky.
Very nice. Very impressive.
Yeah, that was a really fancy play by Kerpa
to
go in for the attack.
Okay. Both of them going for the boar. Very nice.
Yep.
Yeah, that was impressive by Kerpa. That was impressive.
It's not traditionally how you see people play with mines, but it definitely worked out to sort of set a trap up and then kite him into them. Man, they have very similar compositions here. But one player has toads and one player has pigeons. Who do you like in the toad versus pigeon? Oh, now Tatanka scouting for mines.
He's gonna miss the first one. Even the second one flopped, so they got value.
Toads are going in. Pretty good value on those toad shots.
I like the snakes here for Tatanka, but I also like that Kerpa's going up to 4 falcons.
Well, you know, I feel like I like the toads better than the pigeons in general. However, I do like the pigeons better as a complement to the boar. I think pigeon boar is a very, very successful composition. Tatanka's drawing a line in the sand. He's going to be the first player to grab a 3rd mill, and Kerpa doesn't have a 3rd mill in sight. So this is the game right here, folks. If Tatanka can hold this 3rd mill and get the economic advantage, he's going to win. To Kerpa, sacrificing a 3rd, he's going to have to go in and try to win on 2 base. Let's see if he could do it.
That's a lot of money, Kerpa. What are you trying to do with 200 Gs?
Maybe he should invest. Maybe he should sell some mines to get some more money, some more return on investment. Now he's up to 300 food.
What are you trying to spend 300 on?
Just more mines. He's trying to set up a trap. Tatanka's checking for a 3rd. There is none. Both boars out. Folks, let's see the engage. Boar's going in. Looks like Tatanka's going to go to try to go for the explosion. Kerpa's cutting back to try to preserve the boar. The boar has been preserved. Kerpa now has a Congo line.
Is there a snake on the board? Where's the snake? Okay, the snakes are gone.
Snake on the board, but the boar has a pigeon. So now Kerpa has a boar, Tatanka doesn't, but Tatanka has a superior army, and he has 4 falcons in the air.
And all his money got reinforced.
Yep.
All his money got back into the second wave.
I don't know how much value these mines are getting for him.
Oh, those mines aren't going to get any value. But, I mean, he has to push. There are only two snakes. Only one snake on the board.
He's only going to have this boar for a short period of time before Tatanka's boar pops.
You got to get the board a little closer.
The problem is the Falcons. Can he take down Tatanka's Falcons? He doesn't have any anti-air left. And now the snake poke. Man, Tatanka, such a good player.
Oh, don't get your snake caught out. You need that.
Kerpa needs some anti-air. He needs to sell off these mines, and he needs to get some falcons or some squirrels or something. Because now Tatanka has an eco lead and he has a boar of his own, and I can't help but think that he's just going to be able to prevail here.
Oh, Tatanka got his own boar up? Oh my goodness.
Yep. And he's charging in. He has the air superiority. The boar is tanking everything from Kerpa right now, and this could be the final push of the game. Boars are going to pop. There they go, one after the other. Tatanka's still in the fight. He's charging through. Is this going to be it? Is this going to be your intermediate champion? Ladies and gentlemen, Tatanka takes the game and takes the finals. Very well played. Very well played. Meek, any words for that game? I'm going to see if I could get Tatanka in for an interview.
I mean, consistency. Just brutal consistency out of Tatanka. Right? He kept his nerves when he was under pressure during that Fox game. When he had his build order, he executed it perfectly, sat on 2 base, defended every time, held his eco advantage, pushed with the boar. His boar pushes were superior, better executed. Ultimately, a more meta comp, in my opinion, and just held together. I think Tatanka played as optimally as you can play. I think he played probably the strongest way you can play TNT, which is hold on the defense, push with the strongest kind of boar build you can think of, and it worked out.
He just, whenever there's just a little advantage that he can gain through some kind of micro or through some kind of aggression, he takes it. He's so active as a player. He's constantly making decisions. He plays this game so well, and his performance was so impressive today. Tatanka will be joining us for an interview. Let me see if I can get him in here just a moment. And Tatanka should be on his way any minute. Tatanka, what's up? How are you doing? Congratulations. Very well played series, my friend.
Yeah, thank you. That was a good series.
Oh yeah, that was exciting. How do you feel? You did it all. You took first place. You took down the intermediate division. Is this your first Tooth and Tail tournament?
Yeah, this is my first.
Wow. To come in so early to this game. I think you said you started playing in November, right?
Yeah, November.
I mean, how does it feel? You're number one on ladder. You just won the intermediate division.
Yeah, it feels great. I mean, this is super fun, and I think it's largely thanks to people like Kipo and Meek and people that are better than me that can teach me how to like defend lizards and stuff, because I had some real problems when I started this game.
Well,
Walk us through the games. What were you feeling? Tell us about that Fox game, and moreover, just your board pushes, like your mindset. Can you go through it game by game?
Yeah, sure. So the first game, I went with the balloon owl because I thought I could go defensively, which didn't turn out very well because boar pigeon is very good, and that was a shame. That was a gut punch because I think I didn't have the right mindset. So then I went full try hard with my tried and true board push deck for the rest of the games.
and you are so good at that deck. Your execution is just spot on. It seems like every game that you play, you're playing it to perfection. So well played. You're such an impressive player.
That Fox game, I mean, we thought in the chat that Kerpa had you dead to rights, but you managed to pull through. What was going through your mind on that particular game?
Yeah, that's Fox is always tense because my answer to Fox is to farm up and go mass tier 1, which is super risky, but it usually works out.
That was so impressive. Were you just trying to get as many snake tags on that fox as you could?
Yeah, and I kept losing the Fox without getting any snake tags, which is not the best.
And then at one point you had 3 snake tags, but the problem is he had a pigeon out of all units to pair with the fox. You don't see it very often.
Yeah, that was a good counter to the snakes.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, all of those games were so back and forth. Did you do any kind of preparation? Did you know anything about Kerpa or his playstyle coming into the series?
Well, don't know anything about Kerpa, but I did some preparation. I played a few games against Meek, and I spent some time in the sauna. That's my preparation.
Nice, that's awesome. So, so where do you go from here? I mean, first place in intermediate, you've taken ladder by storm. Are you going to go for premier next season?
Yeah, for sure. Premier is the next goal.
Nice, that's awesome, man. I wouldn't be surprised if you take that too. The way you're playing, it's just with whenever there's an advantage to be had, it seems like you're just in the right place at the right time, just grasping for it. So, it's such an impressive performance. So well played.
Thank you. Yeah, this is
Any
playing Tooth
questions
and
from
Tail has
chat?
been great.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions from chat, we'll take them now for your champion Tatanka. Also a fun series you had against Meek. I'll just throw that out there as well.
Yeah, that was
And
not the best.
we get to see you play tomorrow as well in Clan Wars. So
Yeah,
absolutely looking forward to those games.
yeah, I'm playing Meek in those as well, I think.
Listen, this is a weird question, and I completely understand if you don't know how to answer it, because I wouldn't know how to answer it as well. But like, how are you so good at video games? Because it's like you've been playing Tooth and Tail for a few months, and you don't even have 400 games played on ladder, and like you're able, like what do you do? Do you study the game? Do you think about it? Do you watch
I,
replays? Like how are you able to
I,
climb so high so quickly?
well, I play mostly on impulse. I don't really study games that much.
Just
Interesting.
natural talent. He's just born talent.
Exactly.
You can't buy that.
Do you play other RTS games? Do you have a background?
Yeah, I've played StarCraft 2 for most of my life.
Okay. Very cool. Are you a Zerg player?
I am a third player, of
I
course.
knew it. I could tell.
Yeah, people can always tell. I don't know how.
All right, Tatanka. Well, congratulations. Awesome series. Very well played and very well deserved. Looking forward to watching you in Premier next season and watching your Clan Wars games tomorrow. Anything you want to share before we shut down the stream?
Well, I just want to thank you for streaming all this and casting the games. You're doing a really good job.
Thanks. Well, it's a pleasure, especially when we get to watch players like you and Kerpa go at it. It's been a real joy. I'm sure Meek has felt the same way.
Absolutely. It was absolute pleasure casting your games.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you everyone to coming to the stream for watching these great games. Congratulations to Epicosity for taking third place and for Tatanka for taking the championship. He has officially been crowned the champion of the intermediate division. Very well played. Congrats all around. Thank you so much, Tatanka. Can't wait to watch your games in the future. And we're going to wrap it up. We're going to end the stream now. Take care, everyone.